So what's your DNA? So this particular room is about, it goes, what DNA is one of my favorite words of all time, deoxyribonucleic acid. It basically makes us who we are, right? From the inside out. So me personally, Cynthia Gallardo, I take a holistic approach to business. I help women entrepreneurs. I inspire and empower women entrepreneurs and business owners who are struggling to transform a business idea to a vision, to a reality, to a profitable business by discovering their unique business DNA to launch, build, and protect their legacy. And that's what this is about. I love connecting with other entrepreneurs such as Vernelle. So we'll be highlighting Vernelle today. So today is not about me, it's about Vernelle. So let's talk about Vernelle. I'd like to introduce my great friend Vernelle Salaam here, and she is the one and only. That's right. Only she has her own DNA, right? So Vernelle is serial entrepreneur. She builds genuine relationships with others, and I can attest to that. She loves to network. She collaborates on projects with others. She's a student for life, which that touched my heart because I believe in the KISS theory, keep it simple, student, right? We're all lifelong learners. She also loves sharing her knowledge with others, which I can attest to that as well, and growing together, helping others lead a more purposeful life. So we're here to learn how she is a wealth strategist or strategist, motivational coach, realtor investor, and also a caregiver. So today's discussion is tied around legacy. So everybody has a legacy. Everyone in this room today. Demetrius, you have a legacy. Vernelle, Norman, Eddie, Honor, Lorraine, and Cindy, which, by the way, I love your name, Cindy. I also go by Cynthia or Cindy. So all of us in here have a legacy, right? So what is a legacy? I'd like to get your perspective, Vernelle. What do you consider a legacy?
Well, Cynthia, first, I want to say thank you so much for inviting me. This is truly an honor and a pleasure to be here with you and all of our guests. For me, a legacy is impact. That's what legacy means. I know the definition of legacy. It's how much money you leave somebody financially in a will. However, for me personally, that legacy boils down to impact. How was I able to impact another person's life? What mark did I leave on them? Was I able to help them to transform? Was I able to help them change? You know, it's kind of like Tony Robbins says with that rocking chair test, you know, at the end of my life, how do I want to look back at it and see, you know, was I able to impact? Yeah, of course, money is a great thing. It's a tool to help to perpetuate that impact. Or, you know, at the end of my life, at my funeral, who's going to be there? Who's going to speak? And what are they going to say about me? That's what legacy is to me.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Vernelle. And I'm on the same page with you because you think about your legacy and it's your lessons learned, which nobody else can share that with others. It's only you because you're the one who has gone through that journey, right, to get to where you are. So that's a key part of your legacy, but also the material assets, because like you said, they're tools that help you get to the next level or the next point in your life. So thank you so much for combining those two. And I'm totally in agreement with you 100%. So thank you. And for those of you with us in the group, if you want to type in your definition of legacy as well, it will be part of the recording as we move through. Definitely want to make this an interactive session here with Vernelle and I. So thank you very much for that, Vernelle. Now, I always like to hear, because we all have, like I said, DNA, right? We all have a story. It's part of who you are. So I'd like to hear a little bit about your story, if you don't mind sharing it with us, as far as what is part of that story that has led you to today, to this point where you are now.
Okay, wow. So that story began January 26, 1973, which is my birthday.
There you go.
I am a 2 and a 6, which is an 8, if anybody's in numerology, which is also, when it boils down to it, I'm also an 11. What that means is that I knew from childhood that I was placed here for a purpose. Didn't know what the purpose was. I just knew it. As a child, I would always look in the mirror in the bathroom, literally staring deep into my own eyes and asking myself the question, why are you here? True story. I would do it all the time. Ask myself the question, why are you here? We can have all line muted so we can have a clear call. Yeah. And I would always ask myself that question. And going through life, I never figured it out. I never knew. I always knew people would always tell me, you have it. And I'll be like, well, what is it? You know, you got it, the it factor. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that people were attracted to me. Why? I had no clue. Some people were repelled also. I had no clue. But what got me here, as I fast forward through all the years of my life, what really got me here to this point is about 2.5 years ago. I'm living my life. I'm happily married for 20 something years. I have everything that I think that I want. You know, I have the nice house, the nice cars, great relationships, you know, with my family, my friends. My business is really taking off in the middle of a pandemic. It's doing good.
Right.
And then one early Sunday morning, my husband wakes me at 4 a.m. Right afterwards, he collapsed in the cardiac arrest. Now, there was no rhyme or reason why he had this cardiac arrest, because we're talking about a man who was extremely fit, extremely healthy. You know, it came out of the blue, out of nowhere. 40 minutes without oxygen, without breathing. Paramedics worked on him and they brought him back around. He spent 3 weeks in the hospital, all to come home to have a brain injury, a tracheostomy, and a feeding tube. So now I'm a caregiver. Overnight, my life changed. Now, during the time of me being happily married and having everything that I ever thought that I wanted, I got complacent. I got happy with being the, you know, mom and playing real estate agent. You know, I didn't have to get out there and grind hard, do the hard work to push myself to the next level. Now, I've always heard that God will allow things to happen to get your attention. And I always asked, why? Why did this happen to him? Why did this happen to him? Because I literally did not a lot to make money because he paid for everything. And I feel, and this is my opinion, I feel that had it not been for the situation that we're in now, and you hear him in the background, he keeps grunting at me. He keeps grunting. He's watching TV too. I think I got him watching Grant. He's watching Grant Cardone right now.
Oh, okay. He wants to be a part of the conversation too, Vernelle.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. He's been watching Grant Cardone, John Assaraf today. So everything that's motivational. However, this situation lit a spark in me because now all of my support financially is gone. It lit a spark in me that now, you know what? You got to work to get yourself to the level where you know you can be. And that's how I got to where I am today.
Wow, I'll tell you, first of all, Vernelle, I'm sorry that you know about everything that's happened, but you know, one of the things that attracted me to you, because I believe you do have it, right? You have that it factor. So I know the moment I met you, I knew we'd be connected, right? We'd be able to touch base and be there to help each other out as we grow as entrepreneurs, right? Continue to grow. But one of the things that really captures my attention when you share your story is that it's your perspective of it, right? Your mindset of it. You really take a situation that many wouldn't be able to look at in a positive way, and you twist it, you turn it to make sure that it really moves you forward in a positive direction. And to me, that's something that really touches my heart. And I know when I heard your story the first time, I mean, it really impacted me so much because you are that caregiver, you are that caretaker, and you take that at the utmost priority, right? But you also know that you have to be the financial head at this particular point. So you continue to take steps to make sure that happens. And that's why we're having this discussion today, because that's about the legacy, right? That your entrepreneurial journey to get to where you are now. So now that we've heard about your journey leading you to this point, because you've had that entrepreneurial experience in the past, but now you have to put it in high gears, really put the pedal to the metal, as you mentioned before, right? And I like how you said it's a spark, right? It's a spark that makes you move forward in a quicker fashion. So Now that we know what's led you to this particular point, what is your business about at this point? So if somebody were to go look up Vernelle on Instagram or any type of social media, what would we learn about you? What's your now? What can you explain about your business to us?
Okay. All right. Cool. Then this is where it really gets fun for me.
Okay, great.
Um, a couple of minutes. Oh, not a couple of minutes, but shortly after. So I'm going to pick my story back up. Shortly after my husband suffered this cardiac arrest and this brain injury and everything. And by the way, guys, let me just say that I am expecting and I know that he will be fully restored. So let me just get that clear. I know that that is happening. When? I don't know, but I know it's happening. A little while after this happened, and I had no clue of where I was going to go with my life, how I was going to be a caregiver, because a nursing home was not an option, and financially support my family. I was introduced to a mentor that was attached to a business, or an academy, I should say, that taught us how to trade in the financial markets. So now we're fast forwarding 2 years of me working with a team, working with an organization, helping people, coaching people on their mindsets. And things that I do for them has also been helpful for me. It's helped me to grow. It stretched me out. You know, my mentors have stretched me. They've shown me the other side of that uncomfortable growth and how I have to go through something very, very uncomfortable to get to where I am today. And I'm still growing. But because of it, because of it, I've learned how to sit at home in front of my computer and take a few minutes a day and place a trade in the financial markets and earn money. No financial claims, of course, but I can compound 8% a day on my investments. So that's what my platform is about. I teach people, I help, in particular, women entrepreneurs with their mindset and their finances in the face of something that's unexpectedly happened in their lives.
Wow. Well, that says a lot. And I love the way you said, it really engaged me when you said the stretch, right? And also how you had a mentor first, right? So now you can be a mentor to other individuals. And that's what your platform is based on. Because I agree with you. If you think of all the greats out there, everybody out there, all the great players, the professionals, musicians, it could be baseball, football. Everyone has a coach, a mentor, somebody that helps guide them to the next step. And that's so important, especially in business and entrepreneurship. And one of the things I mean, trading in the financial market and increasing, compounding, increasing, who doesn't want that, right? So definitely Vernelle is the person to go to. One other thing, I loved what you said about stretching, because there's something that I had watched on a TEDx call or a talk. I love watching TEDx talks. They're so inspiring and motivating. So the individual speaking had asked us to raise our hands. So I know some of you may not see you at home, but I know you're out there. So thanks for being here. If you could just stretch, raise your hand. If you could raise your hand for a second, for a moment, and like you're in school or something, and like you want to give an answer, a comment. So you raise your hand. So now I want to ask you, raise your hand again, but this time stretch all the way to the ceiling, high up to the stars, right? You stretch as high as you can. Well, the question that came back after that was, why didn't you do that stretch the first time? Why was it just partway raised, right? So that's where a coach and a mentor comes in. Just like with Vernelle, her coaches and mentors stretched her that first time, as opposed to waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's why it's so important to always have people in your corner to help you grow, progress even quicker, you know, acting as a catalyst for that. So thank you so much for that, for sharing that, Vernelle. And exactly what you said is what we're looking for, right? Individuals that have that right mindset to help us continue to have that positive mindset about growth development for our businesses as entrepreneurs. And I do want to just go back real quick to thank you so much for the interaction here. It's great with the legacy. So I thank you for those who have given the definition, you shared. So Demetrius, legacy is anything handed down from the past. Exactly. That's what it is. Things of value remaining from generation to generation. Thank you, Honor, for sharing that. And then also, yes, Norman, thank you for sharing that with the group. So thank you. That's what legacy is about. And that's what this room is about today, making sure what you learned today, because I would like some interaction towards the end. What's something that you can pull back from today to be able to implement immediately and add to your collection, to your legacy, based on what Vernelle is sharing with us today. So thank you, Vernelle, for that. So now that we know a little bit about your story, thank you. You're welcome. So from the past, the present, and now what are some of your future goals? Where would you like to see yourself in the future? What can we do to help you get to that point?
Ooh, now that's a big one.
Yeah.
Not like I've never visualized it, right?
That's true.
For future, I really do want to see myself impacting the lives of other people. Because for me, as I help other individuals grow, I'm growing. Money is a byproduct. Money has never been my focus in anything that I do. Yet it always seems to show up in my life when I need it, even at the lowest point when I didn't have anything. There's a story that I share with my friends sometimes, and I'm just gonna, just kind of frame up the things that I've been through. There was a time in my life where I lived in a cave in the city, a very, very, very low time. I was living in Florida, and I went from having everything, again, another situation where I went from having everything, making great money. I made great money. My husband made great money. So he lost his job. I lost my job the next day. And we went for 5 months in Florida in the summer, no running gas, no running water, no electricity. Yet we still took that struggle and we turned it into a good thing. It shaped a lot of what and who I am today as well. Everything that I've ever been through has shaped me and who I am. I want to be able to impart that into the lives of other people, to show how I see things and maybe open up their minds to see life ain't so bad. Because when you can see the good in any situation, then good comes to you. That's what I like to impart. That's how I see my future. It's not really based on money. It's based on like what we're talking about today, legacy.
That's great. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that story. Your experience, right, of what you went through, because I know, just going from having everything to having nothing like that, and having no water, no gas, that had to be extremely, extremely frustrating. And just probably, like you said, that cave you lived in, right? Not knowing if there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
It was frustrating, but it was not that bad. Let me say this, because the community, we always reach out to the community and are part of the community. And because we were a great part of the community reached back and helped us. So we were able to go get about 30 jugs every week, and fill them up,
Wow, girl. Oh my goodness.
But I digress.
No, I'm glad you said that, because as you know from our discussions, one of my favorite words is the word synergy, and it's tied to everything I do along with DNA, because DNA plus synergy equals legacy. What you just explained, that's synergy, right? Because you and your husband couldn't do it alone because you didn't have the means at that particular time, but because of those who surrounded you, that energy of everybody combined, you were able to accomplish something that you would not have been able to do alone. So that
Yes.
that concept is exactly what you just explained there, that synergy. And that's so, so important with all of us, that we take that synergy, really surround ourselves with individuals that help elevate us as well. And that's what you did. And that's what you continue to do, which is fantastic. Now, I will say, I appreciate the way you took that struggle and you really made it, it turned it into something positive, right? And that's part of your lessons learned that lead you into your legacy. So for the group here, and those that will be listening in the future, what's the top lesson that you learned from that particular experience that we can take back and implement it in our lives today immediately?
And speaking to the people on
Yeah, here on Zoom, and
the
then
Zoom.
also,
Okay.
yeah, and in the future, those who will be listening to us, what would you say based on that struggle, that particular struggle that you went through? What is something that you learned that you've continued to utilize in your life, and that's helped you be successful, you know, even through all the trials and tribulations you've gone through?
Don't everybody run at one time now.
So Honor, I do see Honor here. She said, I agree community is important and the need to focus on the good in your life. That's right. The blessings.
The blessings, yes.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you for sharing that.
Something
And
I've always done, Cynthia, is I've always stacked the small wins, no matter how insignificant they are. I will stack and stack and stack and stack them. Gratitude, and always have been grateful. I'm grateful for the struggle. You know,
yes,
the struggle shapes me.
that's right. That's right. Well, good. Well, thank you. And I like what you said, because those small wins, we can't have a big win without the small wins, right? I had a special friend who would always tell me, Cindy, what do you do in circle? You know, when I felt overwhelmed or just so frustrated, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I mean, I know we wouldn't eat an elephant, right? But if you did, how would you eat it? One bite at a time. And that goes along with celebration. You have to eat it. You have to celebrate the small wins to get to the big wins. And that's exactly what we want to do. So thank you for sharing that, Vernelle, and thank you for the feedback from those in the Zoom platform with us today. And I hope those of you who will be listening later can take back those gems and implement those in your life. And really, as Vernelle has stated throughout this conversation so far, the key to is mindset and having that positive outlook, regardless of what circumstances you're in. So thank you for sharing that, Vernelle. Now, so that's one of the key things that we can learn or take away from what you've shared with us, Vernelle. What can you share two other things that you've really learned that's basically like the lessons learned? If I said, okay, Vernelle, what are the top three? Well, you've shared one with us already, right? Turning that struggle into opportunity. So what are two other ones that we can take back and we can implement into our toolkit as legacy launchers, right? What are two gems we can take away?
All right, so if I have to narrow it down to just two more.
No, you can share as many, but definitely at least two, Vernelle.
Okay. All right, at least two. Is I've learned that you can't take, there are, and don't get me wrong, there are very serious situations in life.
Yes.
Yet it's your response to the situation, and it's, I guess it's piggybacking off of what I just said previously, but that really, 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 I can't drive that home enough. I mean, as a child growing up, I was always told that you're just so nonchalant about everything. You just don't seem like you care. It's not that I didn't care, and it may just be the Aquarius in me that comes across as being uncaring. It's just that I really couldn't take things and wrap my heart around them, if that makes sense to people.
Yes.
You don't want to wrap your heart around something that's not going to serve you in 5 years. I like the saying that if it ain't going to matter in 5 years, then I'm not going to spend 5 more minutes on it.
Oh, I love that.
So you want to always be grateful. Like I said, be grateful for the struggle. Don't wrap your heart, or don't wear your heart on your shoulder type of thing. Stack the small wins. All right. Give love, show love every day, even in the face of your haters. You got to show love, because it doesn't serve you when you allow certain energies. And I think this is the biggest lesson that I've had in life. It does not serve you because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, it's about you creating an impact and making it to that next level that you have for yourself, for your family, and leaving that legacy. And anything that doesn't serve you, then you've got to learn to love it and leave it.
That's right. Oh, I love that. So love it or leave it, right? So, I mean, you
Love
have to
it and leave
oh,
it.
love it and leave it. Okay. That's
Yes,
even
you
better.
can still have
Wow.
love for it, but you ain't got to deal with it. You don't have to be like hands on with it. I still got love for you. But all right, you heard that 10-foot, 20-foot pole.
That's right. That's right. I like that a lot. So it's really goes back to surrounding yourself with the individuals that have that same mindset as you and are going to
Yeah.
help you achieve your goals, right? That's great. And then I love the stack the small wins, of course. That's another gem that I personally will take back. And if those in the Zoom chat want to share some of the gems that you're learning that you'd like to be able to take back as well and implement in your personal life or even your business life, right, as entrepreneurs, something that you can really work to implement in your particular legacy as well. And I also like about you always focus on the positive. And Vernelle, I know that about you and the way we've interacted and even our discussion today. And that really makes a huge impact on what you can offer to other individuals as well. So I know you are a great person to be able to be the mentor for others from that particular aspect. So I definitely encourage anyone listening, reach out to Vernelle. She's an excellent mentor from that perspective. And also, of course, who doesn't want to compound their interest right in their financial stock market or whatever, those particular pieces that you work with. So definitely reach out from those perspectives. But I definitely, if anybody in the Zoom has a question or in Clubhouse have a question, please bring those up, share with us. We definitely want to make sure there's interaction here. And this is something that I'm so excited. If you're interested in being one of my guests in the future, please reach out to me. I'll be having these Legacy and Me discussions every week, every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And I'd love to have you on my stage as well to be able to share with you the perspective of other individuals. That's what this is about, that diversity, hearing from other individuals about their story, their journey, their legacy, as Vernelle sharing with us today. So I do see here a few more. The beginning thankful in and for the trials is great advice. Yes, I agree with you, Honor. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Vernelle's definitely sharing some great gems with us today. So Vernelle, I'm writing them down. I'm a note taker, so I'm writing all these things down. And one of the cool things about what we will be doing with the help of my assistant Norman is this particular presentation it's being recorded, but we'll also submit a transcript. So you'll have everything we've discussed in a transcript, and you'll be able to go back and listen to it and also have that written copy down. So you can, if you're taking notes, or you can have those notes later, that will be able to assist you. So that's great, Vernelle. So let me ask you this, Vernelle, because I know your practice or your habit, your consistency is turning struggle into something positive or an opportunity. What would you say up to this particular point has been your greatest challenge that you've been able to turn around?
Being a caregiver.
The caregiver. Okay.
My husband and I were married 27 years before this happened.
Oh, wow.
My best friend, my Superman, because we actually called him, he was called Superman in the family.
Wow.
Strong arms, something that was very, very unexpected. And I believe that this is one of the few things that I ever questioned and asked God, why?
Right.
Why him? Why me? So many people for so long search for love in their lives, to find their soulmate, to find that one. And
Yes.
I found that one. We had been through so much together, so many struggles together. And to be able to have that level of love and then feel like that it's all taken away from you.
Yes. Yes.
So that has been, the biggest thing that I've had struggled with. And, y'all don't get me wrong, these are still things that I work through.
Yes.
I'm human.
Yes.
But I'm grateful for the fact that it's caused me to grow.
Yes.
It's caused me to reach and do things that I would not have probably done before.
Right.
I remember when we were on a call one day with our team members, and I see a lot of them on here. Love you guys. Thank you for showing up.
Yes, thank you for being
um,
here.
and we were discussing that, and another one of our team members, she brought and just smacked me. I'm like, whoo, she smacked me in the face with the Les Brown, because I was always talking about I would question, why me? And she said, why not you? You know, who else would you want God to give it to?
Right.
So
Well,
why not me?
right. Well, I will say this, Vernelle, just based on our discussions, I mean, you really took that opportunity or that struggle and you blossomed, right? You found a way to grow. And I know in speaking in the past with you, that was something that it was a risk for you because you weren't sure, you didn't know, but now you do. And the key is that you reached out to a mentor so you didn't have to do it alone. And that's the point. That's a huge so important for everybody. And I'm sure everybody here on Zoom knows the importance of having somebody who's been there, done that, to be able to help us get to that next step or that next level. And that's now you at this particular point, for now, you've been there, you've done that. Now you can help somebody else do the same, right? And that's so important. And I'm so privileged that you've been able to share your story and that you took the time. You could be anywhere, any place at this particular moment. Anyone in this room could be, but you're here with us to hear Vernelle's story and how she can reach out and help other individuals. And the key thing, or the cool thing, is because of this technology we have out there, others can hear it in the future. And the goal is that it will make a positive impact in their lives. And that's what we want to do, to be able to leave that mark, to quote you, Vernelle, leave that mark on others around you, right? And that's something that your words can make that impact, and able to do it based on your lessons learned as you go through this. So thank you. And I did see a few other things come in from the chat. So, thank you, Norman. Yes, Norman's clapping there. Thank you, Norman, for that. And Janetta, is that? Yes, I
Thank
would.
you, Janetta, one of my mentors, Janetta.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So, it's so great that you're here, Janetta. Thank you for doing that, for being here as a mentor for Vernelle. And that helps me. It ties me back to a particular discussion that we had, and Vernelle was there when this particular speaker stated the importance of having advocates and sponsors, right? So an advocate is somebody who advocates for you, whatever you're doing in life. And that person will advocate when you're there, right? So in this case, I'm advocating for Vernelle because she's here with me, and I can share it with those in the room and those listening. A sponsor is someone like Janetta, I'm thinking, that will go outside of that and really share with others how great Vernelle is and really build her up to be able to open opportunities. So you can be an advocate and you can also be a sponsor. And we all need sponsors and advocates in our life to help us continue to grow.
And let me say, she's also a very good friend.
Oh, good.
I call her my sister. You know, we have blossomed and grew a very good relationship.
Great.
You know, but she started off more like a mentor, and now she's family. I call her sister.
Oh, great. Well, that's always good when you can move to that step, right? From being just a mentor, but now you move into the family mode, right? That's great. That's fantastic. So Janetta, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here today. As we're going through this discussion, if you have any questions, you can definitely put them in the chat. Any specific questions for Vernelle or for myself, because just to kind of reframe the room for those who are coming in or who will be listening in, this is legacy in me. So when we think of legacy, Vernelle at the beginning really defined it very well, and others in the chat. It's about the lessons learned, the entire journey that we go through in life up to this particular point we're in, all those lessons learned, and we share them with other individuals. So that's part of our legacy, to leave that mark or that positive impact on those around us. Then we get to the material assets, right? Because I mean, in order to make an impact, you do need some material assets to be able to use that as a tool to be able to catapult forward. So when you take lessons learned, you take your material assets, that makes up your legacy. And then as we've intertwined into the discussion today, one of my favorite words is DNA, because we're all unique, we're all different, we all bring our special qualities to the table, plus the synergy that Vernelle so eloquently explained earlier. And then you take that DNA plus synergy, it equals legacy. And that's what this discussion is about. So I'm always looking to really collaborate with individuals such as Vernelle to share your story, your unique story that can also inspire and empower other individuals, other entrepreneurs out there to move forward. So that's what this room is about. That's what these discussions are about, Legacy and Me, making sure your story is out there. It's out there to the masses to make a positive impact. And Vernelle, you shared so many positive gems with us. I mean, just to name a few, just to recap a little bit, as I mentioned, everybody will get the transcript, but I do want to just focus on a few that touched my heart, which would be stack the small wins, because we all have to get somewhere to the bigger win, but we need to address those small wins first. And then basically creating that positive impact, always making sure you're looking for steps or ways to do it, and taking struggles, because Vernelle's been through many struggles and she's shared specific stories with us, and turning those into opportunities. And Vernelle, just for those who may be coming in from a listening perspective, listening to the recording later, can you share with us a little bit more about your business? So if somebody were to think of Vernelle, what do you want them to think about you? Like what specific piece? So for example, when people think of me, I want them to think of my favorite legacy lady. And everything I offer a brand is based on that. So in this case, for you, Vernelle, should we look at you? What do we think of?
Well, I want people to think of me and think of money and mindset. Okay. Mindset mastery and money, turning your struggles into cash. They can think of me that way. If you want to really, boil down to the very smallest molecule of what it is I do, that's at the heart of it. The heart of what I do is helping people weave through their mindset, their issues, and plucking out those things, replacing maybe bad habits with good habits, leading with love from the heart. Great. But yeah, in a nutshell, it is definitely money and mindset mastery. Okay,
I like that. So mindset, turning mindset, and then turning your struggle into cash. So turning it into cash basically ties back to that key piece about trading in the financial market, right? And compounding. You said 8% per day. Am I correct in when I wrote that down? 8% per day?
Yeah, I mean, and it can be anything that you want, Maybe some people like something a little bit more conservative, but for me, I'm a little bit more on the riskier side, 8% a day. But somebody may say, well, I only want to do 3% a day. I only want to do, 3% a week. What I teach can be tailored to fit you and to fit your finances.
Okay, great. So you're able to tailor to the specific needs of those who come to you. It's not like a one-stop shop. It's not like a cookie cutter concept, right? Okay.
No, it's not cookie cutter at all.
Okay. And how do you find the unique needs of individuals that come to you? What are some of the things that you do?
Through coaching, through, the coaching, through mentoring. We really do sit down and we have goal setting sessions. We have, let's talk about it. Let's see what's on your mind, and then I always think, all right, so this is what the person says that they're at. And a good way I like to explain it is I find out what they want and then I give them what they need.
Oh, I like that. Very nice. So you create a solution to a problem, basically, it sounds like, and that's fantastic. Awesome. And what I like in everything you've explained, it ties back to the relationship, right? It's not like you're talking to a robot. So it's a real person who wants to learn about the other individual. And that's great, because so many times it's all about robots or talking to some computer, but in this case it's a real person that we're able to speak to. So that's great. I really appreciate that, and you bringing that forward. So if somebody wants to reach out to you, Vernelle, how do we get in contact with you?
I am on social, so Facebook would be Vernelle Salaam Infinite Success, Instagram at Vernelle Salaam, Twitter at Vernelle Salaam, and LinkedIn is also my name as well. But if you wanted to email me, it is my first name, Vernelle, Vernelle, at infinitesuccess.info.
Okay, great, great. Thank you so much. So, plus, in addition to that, we will specifically lay out your contact information in the transcript, and it'll be in the transcript at the end of the transcript for everybody as well. So, thank you for sharing that verbally, Vernelle. We all learn different ways, right? Some of us learn verbally, some of it learn by writing it down, and then some of us, well, we have to be hands-on. So, we'll be able to use all approaches here. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, I love the name Infinite Success, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did that come from? Where did your name come from?
Well, that's funny because sometimes it took me the longest time to decide on that, really. Because when I introduced, myself, or I started to tell my story and how it started with my birthday, if you took note, you saw how I said that my birthday 26 equals an 8 and my birthday as a whole equals 11 for anybody who's into numerology. So I'm that type of girl that I will get like, okay, what does this mean? Type of gal. Like, if I put that out there, what does it mean to me? What does it mean to people? How is it going to impact? What frequency is it going to carry?
Right.
And that frequency, especially with the infinity symbol, being an 8, 2 + 6 on my birthday is an 8.
Right.
So I say, you know what? Infinite success. That's what it is.
Very nice. Very nice, Vernelle, because I truly believe that's part of your legacy, right? Always understanding the why behind something. So when it comes to a name, I'm a strong believer that we have to know why a person chose it. So in my case, legacy, right? Legacy in me. Well, that ties back to the DNA in each of us, right? And then the legacy, learning material assets. So the same concept there. So I'm so glad that you share that with us, because I want people to know infinite success is real. And Vernelle can help you achieve that through the different methods, you fine tuning or tweaking to your specific needs. And that's what her legacy is about. And she wants to help you create and build and really catapult your legacy as well. So Vernelle, I really appreciate you doing that and coming to the table today, this particular room, and sharing the information on Clubhouse, and then also in this recorded session in Zoom. And I do see another chat came through. Let's see if there's I like that. Janetta hearts there. So thank you, Janetta, for sharing that. And any questions out there from the group or anything you'd like to share, those that are listening in with us today? And keep in mind, this will be recorded, so it'll be infinite, and we'll be able, right? There you go, infinite. We'll be able to share it with other individuals as we move through here. Now, I do want to share one other thing before we do close out. I'm a strong believer in always being sensitive to the time we've allocated and being able to give something back free, right? At no charge if we can. So there's 2 things we may be able to get back today. One that's free of charge. And I know Vernelle's heard me ask this before, but what's free of charge that you can give somebody and it makes a huge impact? Free of charge, makes a huge impact on others, and no cost to you, but really adds to your legacy. Angela, if you want to put it in the phone, or you can speak it, whichever you prefer. I mean, put it into the chat, or you can come on.
That was a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem, Angela. No problem. All right. So I'll share with you all. So Vernelle's a living example there. Love, grace, and patience. I like that, Honor. Thank you. Yes. And also a smile. Right? I see Vernelle smile, and I'll tell you, when you saw Vernelle as you came on, you saw her smile. It probably forced each of us to have a smile too. In fact, try it today. Go look in the mirror. And if you look in the mirror, you're going to smile. And of course, you're going to see your smile on the other end, right? Try it with somebody out there that has a frown. Smile at them. Normally, a smile will come right on their face too, because it's contagious, very contagious. So a smile goes a long way and makes a huge impact, a positive impact. So thank you for that. And thanks for the feedback there as well. The other thing that's free, or that I'd like to give back to you, that really, you can never get it back once you use it, is time. So we normally allocate about an hour, but if there's no questions before we close out, I want to make sure we close out addressing all your questions, all your feedback, all your concerns. All right. Yes, she does have a beautiful smile. I agree. Vernelle, you have a beautiful smile. So thank you
Thank you.
for sharing that
Thank
gift.
you, Onar.
Okay. So any questions or anything before we close out? I want to make sure everybody knows, all of you in here today in this room, you have a legacy, right? You have lessons learned that have you've been able to learn it up to this particular point and that you'll continue to learn. Your material assets, of course, tied into it. And that all makes up part of your legacy. And then also giving you that ability to leave a positive mark on those around you. And that's something that Vernelle strives to do, and she can do along with you throughout the process, throughout the journey. So Vernelle, I do want to thank you wholeheartedly for joining me today. I appreciate everything you do, and especially the sharing of your stories. I know that takes it takes some vulnerability to do that. So thank you for being vulnerable with us, authentic with us today, and really sharing those gems. And they're so important. So that's why we will be providing the link to this particular discussion, as well as a transcript for you all to be able to take back. Okay. So thank you so much. If you do,
Thank you
I
for
will
having me.
Oh yeah, Vernelle, thank you. Thank you. And we'll continue to grow and blossom and glow together, right? That's what it's about, that synergy. So please continue to be positive, continue to make your positive mark in the world out there. For all of you involved today, Demetrius, I want to make sure I have you. Norman, thank you for being here, always supporting me. Eddie, actually that's my mom, Eddie. Owner, did I pronounce it right? Owner? And then
Yes, you're right.
Okay, thank you. And then Cindy, Dr. Angela, Dr. Derek, Regina, Angela, and Janetta, thank you so much for being here today.
And Lorraine.
And Lorraine, yes, Lorraine. Thank you, Lorraine.
Yes.
Thank you for being here so much. And I can feel the love in this particular room. Vernelle, you have a great support network, which is great. So
I know, I love them. I don't know what I'd do without y'all.
that's great.
I
All right,
love you
you all.
guys.
Well, thank you so much for joining. You have 12 minutes back in your life today, so let's make some positive choices with those 12 minutes. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, Vernelle. Thank you.
Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye. Have a great day.